Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever this video may find you. We back again. Obviously, recap. One of the bigger topics for me this past week was the topic of being intentional and focused in whatever it is that you may be doing. If you have some sort of endeavor that you're working towards, a project that you're working on, something that you enjoy doing, being intentional and focused when you're practicing that thing. For me, I spent a lot of time skateboarding this past week. Skateboarding is something I've done for almost 20 years now. And I don't think I approached it. Well, I won't say that. I have definitely approached it in a way that was sort of calculated and focused and intentional at times. You know what I mean? And I think that's why I've made the progress that I have up until this point. Plus, I just have the years and the time on my side. And you do anything for long enough, you get decent at it. You know what I'm saying? But so I put skateboarding down, went and started to train martial arts and other things, but particularly martial arts. And in doing so, coming back to skateboarding, I've learned from training martial arts that, you know, the intention and the focus that I had to put in over there directly sort of translates into how now I approach skateboarding. Because in martial arts, you know, there's room for error, but if you're just kind of aimlessly wandering off in the mind while you're sparring or whatever, it's going to cost you, and it's going to be painful. So there's direct consequences to not being focused, not being intentional with what you're doing and paying attention to what's happening around you. In the video that I made on Instagram, I was saying that, you know, in skateboarding, you kind of have the luxury of kind of just being able to cruise around and have fun and not necessarily have to be serious about anything. And that's a reason why you could skate for a really long time and not necessarily make a whole lot of progress skill-wise, which isn't a bad thing. You know, if cruising around is what you like to do, then that's perfectly fine. But there's not an urgency to be focused or intentional when skateboarding, unless you put that on yourself. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that mindset from martial arts translated back into skateboarding, and now my approach towards skateboarding is more so calculated again, but now kind of tailoring my skate session sort of like how I would a training session. And so for that duration of time that I'm skateboarding, whether it be an hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, I'm focused and I'm intentional about what I'm doing. I'm not just cruising around or doing all the things that I know I can do for my ego or whatever. I'm practicing, you know what I'm saying? Before, it was just more so I was just out skating, doing the tricks that I knew I could do, whatever. But now I feel like I'm really progressing again because I'm practicing and I'm being intentional about what I'm practicing and how I'm practicing it and so on and so forth. And it's kind of reignited a fire in me that I thought was lost. You know, I thought that I had kind of peaked, so to speak, in skateboarding, and I was kind of done, and there wasn't much for me to do there. But now I'm looking at it like, whoa, there's so much that I haven't done and that still needs to be done, in my opinion, for me. So, intentionality, focus, and being deliberate about how you approach anything anything really. But say there's something that you've always loved to do, but you feel like you've lost the fire or the motivation or the inspiration to do it. Going back and sort of looking at your how you've been focused in actually doing whatever it is that you're doing will help maybe show you where you can kind of reignite that fire to get back to where you once were, where you loved what you did. So yeah, that was a big one for me this week. Because it was kind of like a revelation, man. I was like, damn, this is fucking dope. This is dope. I'm trying to think. There may have been another one. I always say I need to write this stuff down so I can, but I never do. So that's something I got to get better at. I could be intentional about these videos. Allowing people to have space in your head, man, rent free. We're so worried about opinions, man, and that's a big one for me through life, not just this week, but just being so preoccupied with what someone thinks about me or what they might think about me. This was something that I struggled with for so long. And of course, nothing is ever always completely gone. But I struggled with this for a long time, and just being consumed by someone's opinion or people or a group of people's opinion of how I act, or being consumed by the opinion no matter what it may be, and it causing me to not do certain things or to do certain things. And it's prison, man. You're putting yourself in a mental prison based on what you think someone thinks, not even what you know, because you don't have evidence for what these people or person thinks about you, but based on your own anxiety, or you creating these scenarios in your head, or whatever it may be, bro. Honestly, to me, it's insanity. When you really think about it, it's like insanity. Because you're just creating this scenario based off of sometimes absolutely nothing, or maybe off of an interaction that you may have with a person, or an interaction you may have with a group of people, and it may not be what you think is favorable towards you. So now you've created this scenario in your mind where these people either don't like you, or and now you're trying to win back the favor of these people or person when they probably don't give a fuck about what you're doing, how you're doing it. But because you're so preoccupied on being self-centered and thinking only about you, that you go into this sort of mania about what these people may think about you. And it will cause you to stifle your own growth. It'll keep you from living your life, period, man. And you'll get to a point where you'll look back and say, damn, I wasted so many years worried about people who weren't even thinking about me. You know what I mean? And you're going to beat yourself up about it, because time is the most precious commodity. You will never get it back. So, I've had to learn, man, like that I gotta let shit like that go. Like, if you don't like me, if you don't agree with what I do or how I live my life or whatever, that's really not my issue. There's nothing I can do about it, because I'm going to do the things that I feel are suitable for me. And if that's not what you think I should be doing, then I don't know what to tell you. If we have close relationship, maybe we can talk about it. But other than that, what the fuck am I going to beat myself up and worry myself to death about what they may think, or what they don't think, or what they could think? It's silly. It's very silly. and it will rob you of your life, and it will rob you of your time and energy and mental space. So, yeah, hopefully that's a little nugget or something that somebody can take and use for themselves, because I know coming to that realization and finally being like, all right, enough's enough, it helped me, and hopefully it can help somebody else. So anyway, not going to drag this out. I appreciate y'all watching once again. Peace.